go.
All right, so I posted a little preview of what I was looking at for the hot list, and so I have that list, and then I have a few more I was working on this morning to add.
We had
And I'm gonna,
a lot of crossover. I liked that. There was a lot on mine that was on
yeah,
yours.
no,
I was surprised.
yeah, that's always promising. Okay, so the first one I have is it's not on there, but I wanted to start with energy is an MRO, and MRO is Marathon Oil. It's on the option side. It's probably my second favorite behind Oxy, and the contracts are a little cheaper, so you can go like a couple weeks out and get contracts for like 25 to 30 bucks and swing those if you think oil's in an uptrend. And the contracts I like here, I like 916 30 C. And I do think that we probably will hit that number by then. So pretty bullish on oil at the moment. Again, you got to watch futures on it, but anything from 26.5, 27, 28, 30C are fine. No real reason. There's no real reason to trade weeklies on this one, just because the like 2 weeks out is so cheap. So that's kind of where I sit with that. Shares work too as well.
Yeah, for me, you just grab, especially on these oil stocks like Oxy. If you don't get in like on the main support, um, you just kind of find two or three intraday levels that are holding or areas that are holding. Getting this one right now in the 25s looks like that's probably it. I don't think you're getting 25.50 again. So you wait for the pullback, buy your contractor shares. Safer, not the bigger mover, but 25 to 30 is not a bad, or 26 to 30 still is not a bad trade. It's way above 10%. So
yeah, and if you're trying to scale in on a swing or something, I mean, just even RSI alone can really work fine. Like I'm looking at, like if you look at MRO on Friday, every time the RSI dipped under 30 on like a 3 or 5 minute chart, it bounced back pretty well after that. So yeah, I definitely think anything in the 25, 26 range is good, and that should hold up in the flow as well.
Yeah, when the market's bad and you can't find anything, come look at these charts. Come look at the oils, because they're gonna pull back to levels where and they're not gonna look bad. Like the Friday candle on this, it's not like some of these death candles that we've seen in tech. So love it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so next up for me is STNG. Heading back to that one.
Is that Scorpion? That's Scorpion, isn't it?
Yep, yeah. Scorpio tanker.
I mentioned these guys in the last video.
Yeah. And you can see here if I don't know if I just went full port from when I first mentioned this one, I could have just walked away from trading and just let it just keep going. Just incredible.
We're gonna find one of those soon. Don't worry, it'll come back around.
Yeah. But all right. So why would I target a stock that is, already made such a dramatic move? Because when it breaks through, and if it breaks through the all-time high, this will be at $50.
Yes.
And that is kind of what because there's just nothing to stop it from. Like if it held up well while oil was selling off, right? And so as oil comes back around, it can break through and just really just fly from there. So I've got leaps at 55C for January that are and 50 and 55C that are to me realistic, and that's why I like this one up here. The test of that like 42, like breakthrough 42 and hold that, and then it can just go from there. I think that kind of looks important to me. But so we could bounce around a bit, but overall thesis here is it's going to see $50 late fall, early winter.
Yeah, I like this chart. I like everything about it. 50, I like that it's 50 because that is a huge. I mean, it's another psychological level. Pretty substantial one. Um, we had 35 to test all time highs, so this is kind of like one you've been on for the whole time. So I like the continuation here, especially if you have flow reads. It's just going to be probably a slower play, which is why I like the leaps that you're calling out. So I would buy this on the stock side. Like if we get 37 fives again, go in.
Yeah, and on the so that 55C for January is about $230. So if that's like too rich for you, which is understandable for a swing, what I would do, I would not go a shorter expiration. I would go further out of the money, because you want the time over anything. And so even if, like, I don't think this is going to go to $60, but I think it's fine to buy a leap at 60 because you don't care if you're not going to hold it the whole time, right? So you're going to take a 60C is about $160. And let me just give you
has a lot more volume
rough idea
on Friday too. That's interesting.
So if like a move towards 50, if we're at $50 in October or November, I'll say November. If we're at $50, $51, $52 in October, that leap that you bought for 160 is going to be $270, and you can go ahead and get out in the fall, and that'd be like a gain of 65%, or you could hit 80% or something like that. So so you can go further out of the money. You just get out a couple months before it expires. That's one way to swing it if you want to get the cheaper contracts.
I like it. Yeah, no, that's what you're paying for, like 44s this week, anyways. 43, 44 this week. So yeah, I like that. I like that better. Nice.
All right, next up is BTU.
BTU. That was on the one list.
All right, BTU. This is coal, and so when I look at coal stocks, I look at this one, and I look at Teck. I like this one a little bit better right now. Both are in a similar kind of uptrend. Red on Friday, but not, again, it's not all sections are the same. So, and energy sold off a little, but uptrend is definitely intact. So what I see here, BTU sitting at 27.78, and to me, test of 30 is kind of inevitable at this point. I see it across all expirations. 9/16 30C, that's the one that stands out. It's about $125. And I got October 35, October
there we go
32C, both very popular as well. And if I were to actually swing this, what I would target is 10/21 35C, $120, and should move nicely.
Yeah, I don't know what news it got, but when it got above this level here back in February, March, when it broke basically the 20, it's sat on that level. 32 would be the top of the channel, the all-time high it hit off that news. So 32 would definitely be the number. Those 32 35s are great. I love them because you're looking for continuation past the all-time high here.
Yeah, and again, as this is where my English professor side kind of takes over. That I look for a story in the flow, right? And to me, the story is that these mid caps are whales are targeting the all-time high, and then they're targeting, you know, 10-15% above that,
Mm-hmm.
because they're thinking that this time it's going to bust through. And the whales have the muscle to not just think that, but just to actually make it happen. So I think that is a likely scenario. Uptrend towards the all-time high, might be kind of slow getting there. Once it gets there, they could bust through, and you start to set new highs, and the uptrend just keeps going.
Yeah, it's gonna take you. I agree. It's gonna take you, let's say, a couple weeks to get 12, 13% in a perfect scenario here. But when it gets there, you're gonna get another 10 to 12% within a day or two. Um,
Yep.
because you're gonna go through that high. 100% agree. I like this setup. Um, the hour chart on this thing is smoking hot. Looks great.
Yeah, and coal again. Not all alternative energy is green, but but coal could get hot, get good news, whatever, and it's a little subsector I like to keep an eye on. So the names here are BTU and Tech. I like BTU a little more right now, but Tech is good too.
TECK.
Oh, that yeah. Let me
That's
see
tech.
that.
Is that tech? TECK. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, TECK. Yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I got it in
yeah.
my stuff. I just didn't know what it was. I'll try and make a mental note of that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you have any penny stock coal stocks?
No, but I'll look
I
tonight.
don't.
I'll get you some tonight.
Yeah, because I think we should keep an eye on that too. That served us well in solar and a couple other like EV and stuff. We have some penny stocks kind of on the back burner that we can
Yeah, I'll
we
collab.
can look at.
I'll collab tonight
Just-
on a couple.
Yeah, because sometimes those will just when the sector's hot, they'll just go crazy, and you can
Yeah.
you can trade shares like they're options. So
Oil was the same way. Look at all the oil ones earlier in the year. HUSA, CEI, IMPP, all the same.
yeah, yep.
All the same.
All right, so switching gears here, getting into kind of my the rest of the list. We're gonna start with Clove.
Sweet. I think this is literally the second time we both arrived at cold on the same week.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It's
pretty definitive on my end, and I'll get into
yeah, I'm pretty
what's
good.
going on here.
Same.
So if you've been trading for the past 2 years, you probably have a history with Clove, and not always positive one.
Yeah, why are you bringing up old
But,
shit? Why are you bringing up old shit? That's messed up, Professor, calling me out like that. God damn. If
and
y'all remember, this was like my biggest loss in the other room, hands down, hands down. Sorry.
that's fine. So all right, so we're right now when I start to see Clove under 3, after having moved past 3, like if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see how the flow reacts to that. And what I see here is a kind of walking the ladder up to 3.5 C. So 916 3.5 C is a contract that is actually getting a little bit of life, even though it's like $5. But more realistically, like November 3.5 C, November 3 C. Those look nice. The leaps to 5 are really stand out as well. So if you want to trade this and not really deal with the day-to-day fluctuations, you can get January 5C for about $16, and a move towards 3.5, you would easily double that. So I see it claiming 3 and bouncing off that as support, at least on the option side, and move towards 3.5.
Yeah, I think we have a little more downside here. Like if this was still at 3 Thursday, I'm not interested at all. But when it broke through 3, that's when it starts to pique my interest. We have a 256 to 275 channel that we were playing kind of previously. I use a 70-90% rule, and you pretty much just go off market. If the market's shit, look for this at 260. If we bounce right back Monday, Tuesday, those 270s are going to be your best ads. The 360s on there because it's the closest shelf I have to the 350 strike price, which we always get in the flow reads, um, which we hit on the last run. So I'm kind of a scale in 270, 260 guy with that move back to the mid to low threes. Um, yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that's
this is
good. So
a Wednesday Thursday play probably, not a Monday Tuesday play in my opinion.
so with so let me talk about my option swing idea
Okay.
based on what Unk just said. So if we have more downside, like if I were to buy, and let me get my little calculator up here. So I'm targeting January 5C, and yeah, or you could do it for February too if you wanted to. But all right, so $16, January 5C gives you plenty of room here, and I will adjust the price. Say we get a dip to 250 or so. All right, so if we get into that, like let's say it goes to 260.
Yes.
Well, that contract falls to $10. So as long as you're like not in, like don't buy 100 of them. But if you start scaling in around here and then have a plan that I'm going to buy this option down to $10 or $8, or whatever. And if we were to make a move towards 350, like let's say we get there by October, that 5C is now worth $26. So your original entry was 16. You buy two of them or four of them, whatever, your plan is. And like you build the position of 10 of those and your average is $12. You'll go 100% on those if we get into that 320 to 350 range. So that just gives you kind of a roadmap of how these kind of trades work when you buy contracts a couple months out. If you wanted to do February, you buy yourself more time, you lower your risk, a little more expensive, but same idea. And that with where Clove is right now, if you wanted to start to enter, shares are kind of the simplest way to do it. But if you want a position
You're not
that's a
entering
little more,
shares for like 20 or $30 though. So that option, what you just said, is I like a lot.
yeah. So that's kind of where I would go, and I think it's a trade that can work for pretty much any account size because you're either going to buy, 5 or 6 of those, or you're going to buy eventually have 15 or 20 of them, and it just depends on what you want to do. And as far as options go, much less risk than just trying to trade weeklies on this, which I would not recommend.
Yeah, and for me, like even if you're not the smallest account or the biggest account on the share side, buying at the 260, like having that, all right, this is the bottom, so I'm only gonna buy like a coupon shopper when it offers the best price. If you even just take that back to three, it's $40, but that's still like 15%, and that's how you build your account. I mean, that's honestly how you build you don't build your account buying 100 shares and it 4xing. That's just something you luck into every now and again. It's these trades that are 40, 50 cents that you buy off a good level that really will build your account in the long run, in my opinion. And you can do it on 100 shares. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So what is your take on sticking to the memes for a second? BBBY.
You want me on the list? Or are we just talking about this?
I'm potentially going to put this on the list,
Okay.
but it's going to
Okay.
depend on how you react to it.
10 psychs huge. If not, we're dropping like a hot rock, probably back to 6 or 7.
Yeah. So it's one that it's going to show up. I'm not going to hot list it.
Okay.
because I like to hot list safer stuff. But it's going to show up in my notes probably every day, because there is a kind of a little, to me, a little battle in the flow here that is either going to drop this to $8 or it's going to defend 10 and we're back to like 12, 14, 16 and it explodes again. So, but I think it's going to play out over the week. And I need to ask Goose about this, but I think Goose's take is that there's some time in September where the memes are going to get interesting again.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she has
so
this
again,
she has like this calendar that, and it's fucking hella accurate. That like when they have to rotate whatever they're fucking doing that's shady, it's like every quarter or something, and she just knows when that is, and then there's always a spike in the memes around that time. It's
yeah, yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. So, so definitely, I would just, of the memes, this one's the most interesting to me. Probably, although I'm about to talk about AMC, but yeah. Anyway, so let's see how it reacts around 10, and then let's check that Goose calendar, and we could catch another good move on it
like
after that. And again, I condolences to the retail who bought this over $20,
bro,
because a lot of them did.
Goose was screaming this thing at like $4 or $5, screaming in the
Yeah,
room about it. So yeah, that's our meme. The meme fucking professor over there is Goose. Definitely trust her word on the memes.
yeah, absolutely. Now I am going to go ahead and hot list AMC.
Okay.
And really, I just as a swing, um, like this, especially if we get back into the eights, which I think we probably will. I don't think that we see 7 again on it. At least I don't see that in the flow just yet. But let me tell you the contracts of note. All right, so sold puts at 8 and 7.5 are overwhelmingly bullish on it, and then the contract that stands out to the upside is 916 10C, which is about $90.
I'm kind of underwater on my end. I'm a little lower than you, more like the 650 range. Would be my next level down. Um, trying to see 12 reclaim. I think this is dying though. Just because the problem here is people have this perception that AMC and Ape are now their price needs to add up to what AMC stock was.
Oh, Ape is the preferred share
Yeah,
thing.
so like
Yeah.
if AMC is worth $15, then 9 of it is AMC and 6 of it is Ape. That's how it's kind of looked at right now. On
Gotcha.
on the social, that's what the social people are kind of saying with it right now. I like Ape a little better, um, but a meme's a meme, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
Ape is just so
Oh,
new.
right. Yeah. So my again, my reason for hot listing this is really the sold puts at 8.
Okay.
But I don't want to touch it until it gets in the 8s and I kind of see how it reacts to that. That's kind of my take right now.
I like that, and it bounced off 9 psych on Friday and didn't really recover. So we could be testing that real early. It's one of the few times I got more downside than you. That's interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, man, if it does hit your downside targets, that I think that would be a spot where you could go pretty large though. Because at that point it's like, okay, is this a $4 stock? I mean,
It
in
was.
terms of yeah, I mean, so right.
Sorry. Well,
No, it's
you have
true.
you have the Cinemax thing going on too. realistically, before memes, AMC was probably a $12 to $17 stock. Then
Yeah.
we had memes, and we had a pandemic. And coming out of the pandemic, the other people in the industry are filing bankruptcy, so it just doesn't look good on them. But I really think all that's out the goddamn window. I don't think none of that really matters in AMC, right? Like at this point, it's not about the business. Um,
Right.
you're better buying it under 10 from that standpoint instead of trying to chase it at like 17 or 18 into the and have a run to the 30s as a meme. So I definitely like it down there. I like it on the hot list, and I like it down here in general. Let's say the low end target, they're a $12 company, right? I'm I'm fine with that. That's still a good spot to be in it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I just AMC. I never touch it when it starts to like it 18 bucks or something. I have no interest at all in it. But once it falls back down here, definitely keeping an eye on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've only traded it like one time, really good, and all the times I've traded it, and it was from 11 to 24, and that's on the 70 run. It was 11 to 24, and I didn't because
Yeah.
I thought 28 it was gonna be done, and severely wrong, but um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I would love to have it. This is that area 9, 10, 11, 12 that it took off for before. So yeah, that's definitely safer at this point, um, in my opinion.
So I'm gonna take us into what I see as safer waters. Let's talk about Kodak.
Yes.
So what I like about Kodak on the flow side is what I'm seeing on the 9-9 contracts and 6C stands out to me there. And so like when I see that, like that's like the first one I notice. And then I'm like, okay, well, what else? What are they trying to do with some of the higher numbers, right? And so then 1021, I start seeing 7C, 7.5C. So that tells me that we see kind of a walk back up to that. Then I look at the chart. Like I look at flow first, then I look at the chart, and I see it kind of consolidating here a bit um, under 6, and then I think, okay, I would like to add this down to like 550 and kind of a nice smooth swing trade from there up towards 657 potentially.
Yeah, we got a trend line on this thing that it really doesn't come close to touching. Um, got back above the 50 on the day. Seven's still my target here. Um, we're kind of at the pullback spot here. I love your 550 spot. I'm totally with you on that. Sub 6 probably the way you're going to have to look at it if you want to trade it though. 550 if it happens real quick, um, I think this is like a Monday 550 in my opinion. If we get another kind of down day on Monday, you might have that opportunity. But this thing's staying way above this trend line since the May lows or whatever the lows back then. Love the setup. Repeat winner.
Yeah, if you want to, if you want to catch 550, I think you kind of have to just set up your buy order because it might last 20 seconds or something.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
This is literally the third time though we've been on this, and it went 7 both times before. The first time,
yeah, we have a great history with this one.
Yeah, the first time ER went and Professor was like, it still has more, and I was like, there's no way, not in this market, because the market was trash back here in whatever this candle is, March, and it went another like $2 in a trashy market. Then it came back down, and it came up again, and just trust the channel. So I really like the 5 to 7 channel. The trend line says you're not getting 5 anymore. So 550 it is. Love it. Love it a lot.
Yeah, and this by the way, this is the perfect stock to learn options on. I don't know why people want to learn options on SPX or SPY, because you're just you're going to take a beating while you're learning. Whereas with this, a close to in the money contract for $15, and you watch it go up to 25, it's a good feeling. And it's one you can play for shares as well too.
Strat Boy says you're full of shit.
Yeah. 100 to $1 million challenge. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So then next up for me is IMAX.
Now we're getting into the cross notes. Love it.
All right. So IMAX right now is let's see. Yeah, sitting at a 1567. What got my attention here?
You want to know what my line is on the chart, real quick?
What's that?
1557.
Oh wow, yeah. And so 916, 16C stands out as. I mean, that's one that you could trade off of. It's about a $55 contract, but again, the story here has always been the leaps to 20 yeah. and 25. Yep. And I think
for October.
That's still important.
Are those still October? Because I think they were October, if I don't recall.
They rolled into January.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's another example for me on the flow side that the whales really, even if they know, they don't know when, and sometimes we run into that. And we will learn how to identify that a little better through these sessions for sure. But IMAX is definitely one of them. They know what's going to happen. They know there's news in the they could be looking to acquire somebody, but they're just not doing it because of market conditions.
And from down here, I just moved towards 18 is kind of what I'm looking at.
IMAX could buy AMC or Cinemax. Cinemax goes bankrupt. IMAX could just buy them and do their own shit instead of leasing their material to them. You never know what's going on behind the scenes, and the market conditions just right now aren't prime for that kind of acquisition. So it could be something like that. They could be starting a drive-in thing. Who knows? But for me, there's definitely something brewing in the water on this. We have this $15 to $17 channel that's playable, and there's a thesis in the long-term move. So I love it.
Yep. So let's see. IMAX.
All
right. So next up,
if you can't buy 100 shares off, sorry, P. If you can't buy 100 shares of this in the 15s and sell it in the 17s, again, that's the account growers. If you look at the weekly, it's just lived in this channel all year, like pretty much the whole year. It's lived in this channel, and the trend line, you can see it. It's slowly going up. So, yeah, I just like the setup. It's a household name. Can't go wrong with it. It's boring as fuck though, but.
So my next up is POW, and POW's a good example where I recognized a channel in the flow and played it, felt good about myself from I think I was like 370 to 450 or something like that. But then I kind of ignored it, and then it just like exploded to $6 out of that channel.
Yep.
And now it's, dropped all the way back down under 4. And I really, I like this one under 4. I think I'll need a little guidance on TA for more, what the floor is. The floor and option.
Previously charted this at 382. I only have one line on this chart from the last time we talked about it. We're 10 cents off of that. Your volume profiles are like 416, 420, 436. So we're under that. That's kind of this is it right here from 380 to 420.
And the two contracts I target on this based on your style and risk tolerance. They're both 5C, and it's either October or January. The October one is $12. The January one is $35. Both will move nicely on any kind of move towards 5, and a move towards 5 isn't even anything spectacular. That's just sort of the channel, and at least even a move towards 450 is going to give you 40 to 60% on those contracts.
For me on the share side, I'm hoping we get like another. This is a perfect example where you want one more bad day in the market, and you want to see this thing hold a level. Like you want tomorrow just to be shit, and this to hold, let's say 375 all day, right? It doesn't give, and I'd buy that because four's coming in as soon as it turns back. Like the four test should come back real quick.
And this is down on earnings. It's a revenue miss. I think the initial drop there, kind of made sense, but we're in oversold territory, and really, to me, it's just the TA kind of gives it room to the downside here, but we're towards the bottom. And just talking like realistically, as midterms approach, obviously this is an ammunition stock. Republicans winning is good for it, probably. But it can go the other way too, where like a sort of panic buying, feeling like gun control legislation is going to get worse. So it kind of works both ways when you're dealing with guns and ammunition. But even aside from that, just in terms of flow/TA, I like the 4P floor. I like the 5C October and January.
Yeah, and 4 was holding except for it was 408. I think. Let me get that right. I think it was 408 on the open Friday. 416 on the open Friday, and just got pulled down. It's coming back quick to the 4s. I don't think you see 3s too long here, Pete. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, next up for me is a new one, and Yalla, YALA. This is a development of voice-centric social networking and entertainment, live voice chat rooms. It's an ADR, but it's in Dubai. So this is my first UAE stock, I think, that I've ever hot listed. And this one kind of came out of nowhere on my radar, but just kind of flashed pretty large across all expirations. And whales want 7.5 C leaps on it. And the shorter time frames, 5C 1021 is the one that stands out. And so something's going to happen. Someone's going to acquire them probably or something. But so whales are thinking that something fairly big is going to happen in the next several months.
This held 4 real good on Friday. I threw 375 up there, 374 up there. 650, 625 is kind of your volume profiles. So that's a big target. I like the setup in that regard. This looks great.
And so in terms of which contract I might target on this, I think buying time is better than trying to catch a shorter term move. So if you look at like January 7.5C, you can get that for about $20, and any move towards 5 in the next month or so is going to give you a nice return on that. All right, now next up is View. View is a smart windows stock, so it's kind of like a tech and materials hybrid kind of thing. So this one we've traded before, sitting under $2, and flow reads on stocks this cheap can be They tend to be like accurate, but a little bit tricky just because you don't have as many strikes to work with. But like a move towards 2.5 in the leaps on this.
That's your last high, basically.
Yeah.
I got one light on this chart. It's 179. It's your 3-year volume profile. It's real close to your 1-year volume profile. There's a lot of downside if that breaks. This could go back to $1, but I like it holding this level and retesting these highs, which is more 274. Kind of what I like. It gets real good after 3. That's what keeps me interested.
Yeah, so it's basically like this would be, I mean, for me at least, it'd be round 2 on view, and we're just wanting to see if it'll repeat that pattern. I would another one of those where a nice red day on Monday could give us a good entry. So just kind of looking for that.
Sweet. I think
and
this was like a B on my side just because of there is downside. Other than that, I like it.
Yeah, and again, like if we did hot lists on Wednesday, it might be an A by then. So
100%.
So when something's kind of a lower grade like that, it's I on my end would like to see get a better price too. So we'll just add it for now, and then we'll revisit in notes during the week.
Love it.
So that's my list of new stuff.
Okay, let's I had some just throwers on here from last week. So let's be kind of like pretty critical of what we have on here.
Okay.
To try to keep it small. I don't know if you went through the hot list, but yeah, if it doesn't really stand out, let's not do it. So AA, which we're still just grinding away, off of our $47 entry.
Yeah, AA is still it's bullish across all strikes and expirations for the most part. So I think that this likely
good from the option side.
Yeah, yeah. Right, so this likely continues from here. I think it's gonna likely test 60, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
55 to 60 is good enough on the share side, even if you didn't get in at the solid level that we called a month ago. ACB, weed in general. I put pretty much 3 of them on. I put 3 of them on. I put ACB, CGC, and Tilray on last week, just thinking we were going to get a little pop, and we did.
Yeah,
it's kind of one.
Which one is ours on the hot list? ACG, you said?
I put them all on there. They're all.
Oh,
okay. So yeah, either there's a good one or there's a bad one. I have ACB, CGC, and Tilray right now on here.
Yeah, let me see.
I just kind of did it as a sector, right? Like I think weed's gonna
right.
Let's use the 3 weeds.
Let's see. I don't. I mean, Tilray, like kind of likely goes back to 4, but could see this losing 350 too, because 3P is actually kind of bearish on it. So I'm a little hesitant on weed right now.
Let's take them off. Perfect. BBIG. I'll say it out loud. People like less for some reason, so we can be picky.
Yeah,
they really do. Like they like less.
No, I mean it's easier to make decisions and manage.
Yeah, exactly.
BBIG's was definitely bullish on Friday. Kind of a tough read when it's under $1 for me, but how do you trade BBIG?
Off of $1, the other side.
So okay,
which we're not.
So
I won't touch it until it breaks a dollar.
gotcha. So you're not looking for the,
No,
like, if it drops back to 80, and
no, no.
because a drop to 80 could 60 could come pretty fast.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be in a trade when it does that. I got nothing special on it, to be honest. So
Sweet. Next, Bumble.
Uh,
I thought it was going to catch 30 and it didn't.
so on the flow side, um, sold puts at 25 is kind of the and for October, that's a contract that stands out. Not seeing them step in out of the money on calls though.
Okay,
So that's
I don't like the volume, so let's move. We can come back.
okay.
Can isn't this the Bitcoin?
Chinese crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. This not. Don't even waste your time.
Okay.
Chef. I think this was one of yours. I just like the setup still off of 33.
Flow went pretty bad on it though.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll probably take it off.
Picky as fuck right now, Professor. Picky as fuck.
Yep.
Chewy. I can't get this one right. We gotta have a higher low though. I'm kind of in the middle of a zone with ER Tuesday.
Yeah, Chewy was one that, like, I remember being really shocked when it was in the 20s, but I didn't act upon that, and then it just exploded. And I felt like I missed it in the mid 30s, and then it kept going again. So
I played 35 to 40, but I can't get a read on it after that. After that, it's just been sporadic for me.
Yeah, flow is mixed on it. The definitely more upside than downside though. They're not really getting aggressive on anything in the puts in the 30s, and like 9 to 50C is pretty bullish. That'd be a pretty extreme move though.
We have earnings this week.
Yeah, okay, that's what that is then. Someone's trying to just catch the volatility on it. Yeah, I want to let's do it just because it's going to be really tradable leading up to earnings.
Okay.
So yeah, I like it.
DNA.
Almost put that one on. All right, DNA. Well, I guess we already had it on, but
we didn't move much out of a channel this week, but I like it under 3. It's an almost no brainer at this point in
time. Yeah, whales like leaps to 4, and then whales like those crazy leaps to 15 on it. So yeah.
That's why we stay in it. We'll keep it.
And by the way, if you wanted to enter one of those leaps with the whales, it's January 2024, 15C, $25.
I love it. Donut down here at 12. Kind of had a week to see where we're gonna hold, and 12 looks like it.
Yep. So Krispy Kreme, whales like it back to 15 in the fall. 12.5C is kind of the one that stands out though.
I think it gets back into the 13 to 14 channel. I just don't know when or what's gonna do it.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is like as much of a hot list thing or just sort of a swing candidate. Yeah.
All right. Figs. I got 14.
Pretty bearish on my end.
Okay. Go EV. We just kind of got a higher. We have 326 to 5 channel, kind of forming a higher low here, which it's done a few times.
Yeah, leaps to 5. I like January 5C a lot.
We'll keep that
So,
guy. Let's keep that guy. Hood. $9.30 higher low. 10 for me. 10's
yeah, not 9.2, 10C, 9.16, 11C. So
keep.
Yeah, I like Hood, especially if we open the week red, it'll bounce and has decent room to the upside back to 10.
Yeah, eight's like my lowest level. That's why I like.
Yeah, I think it'll defend that. Yeah.
Hut. Stay away from these
No.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind. I got 324 to 575. We're eating at 324 the last 2 weeks. Not in a good. That's not a good way when it does this. The only thing good about it is the 324 to 350 is tradable.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably going back to $3.
Okay, let's kill it. Cold.
Yeah.
Keep cold in here.
Yes.
Okay. LILM. We're below our channel. We're below our channel 267 to 350. I think 350 was the flow read. Kind of had a flat week.
Whales are still liking leaps to $5. And I like defense as a sector, but I don't know. I mean, but the thing is, it broke out of my thesis, and I don't like to keep stuff that does that. So I'm gonna ditch it for now.
I'm on the same page with you. It looks cheap, so let's keep an eye on it. But I'm with you. Everything you said is 100% accurate. I'm gonna put these three together because just save a little bit of time. And unless you have something on MGM, MQ, and Mullen, all three of those are I'm done with.
MGM.
MGM won't get over 35. You were right on MQ. I should have listened to you. And Mullen died.
Yeah, Mullen's scary down here. I mean, there's no floor.
Yeah.
It could just, yeah.
No. I think I said that at 77. Yeah, 77. It's going to be tough under that. And when it broke 77, it just fucking fell.
Because I think people can fall into a trap on Mullen that's like, man, it's only 60 cents. This is going to go back to $1, but it might be a while or it might not happen.
Yeah. I'm totally with you. Nat. $260s, bouncing off of that, kind of turning that back into.
Yeah, I want to keep this because there's two contracts that I really like. I like 1021 2.5C because it's only $35, and then 3C for January is 40. Both of those are going to be excellent contracts.
Perfect. Nova. Kind of flipping 25 here. On my end, it's under 25 right now on the line. I love the sector. 33, 34 is what we have on the top end.
All right. So, sold puts at 25 are really strong.
Let's keep it.
And has some definite upside. Run towards 30 seems kind of inevitable to me. So, yeah, I like it.
It's thin up there. I like that. All right. Open. Real estate in general.
Um, so yeah, open's kind of interesting because I think that you could start to load it down here anywhere under 5 and be fine. But I also think the sector is potentially going to get very ugly over the next several weeks. So, and this could fall to $4 on my end.
All right, let's move on. We'll come back to those.
Yeah.
PTLO. Tell me you got something over there. You got to have something over there, please.
Tried the Italian beef on my last trip to Chicago. It's good.
Fucking
It's good.
delicious.
Yeah.
The chocolate cake is where it's at. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So this is on my end likely gonna. I want to say test 30, but probably 28. But just the way the strikes work, it's 30. So
expiration
in October, 10/21. That's pretty good. That's a good setup. I look at the chart and that kind of curling action or whatever you call it looks good. All so right. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. RDW, don't waste your time. REI. Well, let me go back on that. RDW is a space stock and it's a sector I'm just not really thrilled with right now. We need the market to be more risk off for that to take off.
You know what's interesting about the space plays is I still feel like I see bullish activity on it every week, but I feel like the whales are guessing.
Yeah.
So it's like we just I'd rather wait for whatever this catalyst is they're seeing to actually happen, and then trade off that price action.
Yeah, I can catch this one. I can catch in the low 3s and play it to the 4. And that's a one trade call it a day for a guy like me. So trying to like time it down here just isn't. I was getting a little cute with it last week. It held the level fine. I mean, it opened. It closed higher than it opened, but just not a lot of meat on that right now. REI, which would be a continuation play here, crappy energy. 4 is what I'm looking for, or we'll just call it a dub. Do they even have? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a kind of a tough read, but 5.5C for January 2024, for whatever reason, is what the whales were buying on Friday.
A plus?
No.
Okay. Ride. I'm kind of not feeling the sector, to be honest with you right now. What sector? The subpar?
No, I'm not either.
Okay.
I'm annoyed at this one because I kind of casually mentioned that that it looked good when like nobody was on it, and then it exploded. and I like, on that earnings run up and then afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I tried to talk you out of it 3 or 4 times for sure.
Yeah.
Rig.
All right, rig. Let's see. It's gonna go back to $4 if that's good enough to keep it. I don't know beyond that what it's gonna do, but honestly, if my energy thesis is right, it's gonna keep going. But
yeah.
So I think we should keep it. Yeah.
Let me see where we are. Is it hot list or notes?
I'll say notes. I'll say notes, but very, very well could be hot list next week.
Okay. Stitch Fix. Dig on that one for me. We're on my 550. 8's my top end here. You'll probably see 7s too, to be honest.
So yeah, so this is one we caught a really nice move off the bottom, and we're sort of in a reset.
Yes.
And this is all about what is the likelihood of round 2 is kind of what we're after. So 5P is a very bullish contract on all expirations. 6C for 916 looks good. 7.5C in October looks good. So yeah, I want to keep this one.
I love it. Perfect. That's great. Shop on 32. Been real strong since this split. It's either 30 or 32, and we're at 32 for me.
Yeah, so I like 35C for this week. I like 40C for 916. So yeah, I'd keep it.
Perfect. SPI.
Especially
Sorry.
Go
Go ahead.
If we open the week red,
yes.
On whatever day is going to recover, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, because you will see a green day. It's at some point this week. Shop has like the potential for like a 10-12% day on a good day. So that's that would be the setup I'd like the most, is if we get a little more downside and then you can get in.
Yeah, even if the market's down and it holds 32, 100% with you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see 100%. SPI, shitty solar. Died
Nice.
Died off our 215. Don't waste your time. I'll notes this if it's good.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
TDoc.
All right.
Not as good as Shop, but similar setup.
Yeah. Let's see here. Whales are kind of wait and see, but 32 is very strong. Sold puts at 32 is the floor. So
look for Professor's notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We were no on Tilray. Were we no on Tilray?
Right. Yeah, we took wheat.
Upstart. Hitting that 25 again.
Let's see. I think this might fall to 20.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go and take it off.
Yep. VAL. I trusted you on this one. I kept her. And it delivered. Still have 17 as a higher end here.
What is the ticker?
VAL. Sorry, Val.
Oh, VAL. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably take it off for now.
Okay, perfect. This VNTR I was 100% wrong on. Unless you see anything, I'll just move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay. That's another space play. Weber. What do you feel about Weber? The day chart and the weekly chart say there's more, but I'm not a fool either.
Yeah. Yeah, the contracts on this is crazy. Like 20C for 916. So there's definitely
they're trying to make it squeeze. They think they're going to squeeze, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it's already happened. It kind of looks like it might have already happened.
Yeah, when you have something 2 weeks away that's 100% out of the money, that's an IV trade.
Should we keep it or no? No. Yeah. I mean it.
I think we'll keep it with the slot machine emoji.
Okay, because I mean it's got
know what you're doing.
There's a gap from like 12 to 16. But I mean we're 30% from the gap, so
yeah.
All right, we gotta have. I guess we'll have one lotto or on there. I like it. And XPEV was an ER play, and it died. I'm not really on EV, so I won't make you look at that one either.
Yeah.
You're fine with that. All right. So I only have a few then because we had a lot of crossover. AI would be the first one. ER play kind of dipped. Let me pull up. Yeah, we're back below 20 on it. There is a more downside to like 16, I think is what we have, 1650.
Mm-hmm.
But we have ER this week. Holds right here would be a great high or low with range back to 25. Um,
Yeah, 25, 916, 25C is one that stands out. So, yeah, I think it's time to revisit AI.
Especially with the ER this week.
Yeah.
Where are you at? This one's yours, Beyond Meat. Where are you at on that
guy? Let's see. So my take on Beyond Meat. The flow on this one is sort of strange. So like it could fall to like 15 to 17 bucks.
Wow.
Or it like, so the contracts at 40C and 60C are very bullish, and then the contracts at 15 and 17.5, and this is from October beyond, are bearish. So it's like gonna make a dramatic move. And whales seem a little confused on it. So
that fits the thesis, though. The company itself is going out of business. If someone acquires them, they're worth money.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. It's
no clarity right now, though, on your end. No reason to have it around, unless you like the downside.
No, I'll have it around in my notes.
Yeah.
You can day trade it, but like, to me, like, hot list mainly is like, we're in a good spot. This is going to go up.
Yeah, I needed sold puts at 25 and calls at 40. That's what I was looking for you to say.
Yeah,
that's what I was totally looking for.
So here's what you could do with Beyond Meat: buy some leaps at 15p and leaps at 40c, and just let it sit there and see which one wins.
Yeah, no, it just because we were on this channel, and yeah, if you had 25, so that's a definite. Not yet, I guess that'd be the nicest way to put it.
Hey, where was that? Do you have any others?
I got a few. Yeah, I got a few.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll do yours, and then I had a question about.
Okay.
All right.
Let me look at this chart before I ask. Yeah, BlackRock real quick. Anything blinding? 15-ish. This is BlackRock's a good example of when I say when the market is shit, find something that is holding or what isn't like adapting to it. And this thing stood on 10 on Friday when everything else was dying.
Yeah, I think BlackRock has a lot of potential to me. And this is one of those where, like, I mean, it dipped all the way to like $7, but I didn't want it there because it's like, it was just kind of uncharted territory. But once it reclaimed 8, and especially after this consolidation around 10, I really do like how this is reacting right now. And I really see like October 15C is a contract that I like a lot. It's about $35. So yeah, let's get back into BlackRock.
Perfect. Only because they have ER. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell you, and you put it in your notes. CrowdStrike this week. 200 level. It's pretty easy on the TA side.
Yeah. So,
I mean, unless you have,
like it. Well, I have October 230C is really bullish on it.
I was gonna say, if you have 240s, I could see us putting it on there, and you'd say 230s. The ER Tuesday, I think they're gonna kill it. 200.
Yeah, let's. I do like to have a large cap, and they're definitely promising.
All right.
Yeah, and I think that everyone in the room can kind of see a theme that when tech starts to sell off, that cybersecurity is the most likely to hold its ground and bounce back. In particular, Crowd and DDoG. Ned is a little bit dicier, but yeah, I like it.
Um, why did Dow not make your side? Because we were both on this guy.
Uh, I honestly think I just omitted it and meant
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah,
I
let's.
have I have 54 holding with 60 volume profile. That's what I'm looking at over here.
Yeah, yes. So like 60C um, is looking really good for October. That's about a $65 contract, and that's probably the one I would go after. So
Okay,
yeah,
let's do
we'll
this.
do Dow.
Express, I'm just gonna keep for my notes because I like
Okay.
what we got here. Um, you mentioned it. I can't stand this goddamn sector now, though. But gold in general, and the ticker gold. I think that was another crossover. I am on a level here at 1550 on that ticker, but um, just
Yeah.
gold.
So gold and silver are a little bit frustrating right now. Just the in general because they really they had started to hit an uptrend, had every reason to move towards 18 to 20 bucks, and then they killed it.
Yes.
Um, and so I think we could easily head back down um, to 15, but I don't want to hot list it. Going to be
Okay.
in my notes though.
Love it. Love it.
So yeah.
Preferred. Um, HUSA, I'll probably just keep in the notes. IMAX we did, Kodak we did. Where this is the one exception right now for me, P. Where are you at on Lucid?
Well, let me see.
Just because we played this to 50 from here, and I don't want to miss it. Not that we're going to 50, but we're definitely going back into the 20s some point in time. They do have Catalyst come October. No, maybe closer to November on actually delivery dates for people. So I know that's coming, which that could go either way. But
Uh, 16 is a strong floor on my end, and pretty likely move to 20 within the next 3 weeks. So I like it.
hot list.
Yeah.
Okay. And in full disclosure to everybody, I'm total fanboy EV, and this is one of the ones I really like. So take that into consideration. Lemonade. Boring S stock on our level, 22 bucks is what we got. 32 was the last high.
Yeah, let me see.
But 18 to, excuse me, 16 to 22 was our channel. Um, so
Yes.
we're kind of flipping that top end here.
There isn't enough activity in the out of the money calls for me right now. And I think that if the market goes sour, and this goes under 20 bucks, that's when I'd be really
That's the better
interested.
spot. I agree.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna ask this one. PSFE, pay safe.
Oh yeah, that one. Let's see. You know, this one does actually show up in my filters sometimes. Let me see.
You got to give Toon some credit. He does find some gems every now and again. He really does.
Yeah, I like the leaps to 2.5 on this.
Yeah, it's on it.
And then when I look at the chart, it's actually probably more likely to be 230 to 240, but there's no strikes there. So,
You want to know my channel is?
what's that?
181 to 231.
Nice. Yeah, so that lines up about as close as you're gonna get on a small cap. So yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. I have PayPal on here, but I think you would have fucking said something if it was looking good. Like, there's no way you're missing PayPal, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Don't
so
even.
I
Don't.
think
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. I mean, go
uh,
ahead, but
88 is my number that it's going to fall to, and then I'll like it.
I got 89-22. Let's see who's. Let's see whose line gets it. That's what I was playing though. Was a higher low here. 90 psych basically. All right. RKT is the best real estate, but I know we're fading away from them. Um, it's not that great.
Yeah, I mean, they Wales are kind of aggressively
Put.
wanting to punish this one down
Okay. Okay.
to $8.
Okay.
So
Root. We're post split now. Um, don't have a lot to go off of, but I like where we are here. We're either gonna die or bounce back to 18, 19, my opinion, or we're gonna die. We're gonna go test that 10 psych.
the option activity actually has picked up quite a bit since the split. Still kind of trying to feel out what they're wanting
Okay.
to do here. So I want to give it another week.
Love it. AVYA, I don't know if this has options. It does.
Uh,
You want to check that cat smaller guy? See if you got anything crazy there.
um, what in the world is this stock?
It's
AV.
a fucking shitty social play I found.
Oh, okay.
Nothing great, peak. No full ports here.
Yeah, I mean a big volume spike on options on it. So they're definitely, I think, trying to squeeze this thing. $2, 916.
Notes. I got you though.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
The only other thing I got on my whole page is ER. We talked about Chewy. GME and ChargePoint are the other two that I just have a note that are no names. Probably see a lot of activity around, especially on Twitter. So wanted to glance at them or at least give people a heads up to leave them alone.
Yeah, GME is looking a little precarious to me. I could see it falling like 28, 26, something like that. On the upside, 32. So I kind of don't like that risk reward right now.
So there's your stay away on that one, and then ChargePoint. Just kind of running into 16.
Yeah, so 9 to 17C. Volume exceeds open interest. 12,000 in volume to 2,000 open interest. That is a big number. That's positive. So I like that's very very bullish. Let's do it.
Okay, and then you said you
and by the way, that I would keep an eye on plug as well, just based on that.
Let me look at the TA real quick. Yeah, it's gonna sympathy run with it. Plug's a little extended, but I like it. And you said you had one more, P? If I remember that right.
Yeah. So I not necessarily hot list, but when we're talking about Beyond Meat, it's sort of in a similar situation where the company is just a disaster, but could go crazy
Peloton?
if they get acquired. Peloton.
Yeah, Peloton. Yeah. I knew what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 psych now is where we're at on my end. Another shout out to the professor who's saying just buy this at under $9, and then we got to run to what 13. That's big money, dude. That's big money. But that downside is definitely still there if 10 doesn't hold for me, which is 850.
So yeah, I sold puts at 9 are really bullish. Sold puts at 10 are slightly bearish. So basically, let's drop this thing to $10 and see what happens. And
so you're saying that this is next week's list again. this
Yes,
favorite.
and
Okay.
so like I don't think it falls all the way to 9, but anything under 10, I think you might think about adding shares or leaps. I don't like day trading it though. That's my take.
I love. Yeah, I'm with you on that. 100%. 100%. All right. Well, that's that's good stuff. Yeah. So we got a 30-minute video and an hour 20-minute video. So I think that'll be good. Good stuff for sure.
Nice.